Hi everyone, this is Team 41 and our project is called Out-Recruit. It's safe to say that finding a job and finding the right hire is a mess. With so many people looking for a job, the last thing a company needs is to spend all of their resources and time on hiring, especially with everything that's been going on. Companies have to dedicate tons of human resources and money just to sift through, parse, and find the right candidate. It's going to be especially bad when companies lift their hiring freezes and we have to resolve our current rise in unemployment. The typical hiring process today doesn't really effectively measure an employee's practical skills or team synergy either. We created Outrecruit to fix this problem by minimizing the need for multi-step interviews and exams and offer companies the tools to use outreach events to evaluate potential candidates faster and better the candidate experience. We propose the following alternative strategy. Instead of having most of your potential candidates apply online, encourage them to come to physical engagement events. Companies already have these engagement events, so in addition to physically meeting and providing information to candidates, why not utilize this time to start assessing your candidates? This reduces the number of blind online candidates, less online resumes companies have to sift through, and as a recruiter, you can gain extra confidence in your potential employee.
Okay, so moving on to the Outrecruit demo. Every instance of this program will be deployed by the company. The administrator will be in charge of creating each event. So here we can write the name or short description of the event as well as the start and end times. Much of the interface should look familiar to Material Design by Google. We chose this because of its simple and clean look and familiarity to many users already. Our next step is to create groups for our candidates and evaluators. We envision company recruiters using employees to interact with candidates in order to assess their teamwork, work ethic, and skills live on the field. This will allow recruiters to know if a candidate is best fit for the company. Before we can start ranking resumes, we need jobs for the system to rank. Here, we have a financial analyst, compliance analyst, and data analyst. We're going to be creating a software engineer, so we need the job title and writing a short description for it. Alright, so the last step for HR is to create questionnaires for the candidates to fill out before the event. And these will be multiple choice questions just to make it easier for our candidates to fill out. This is also the same place to create evaluation questions for our evaluators. And just to remind, these evaluators will be filling out these questions during the event. Okay, here we'll just have one of our team members sign up as a candidate. Outrecruit will just be asking for your basic information to verify users again in the future. The next step for the candidate is to upload their resume, and then we'll also have a short questionnaire that HR made before this. That's it for the candidate, and all I have to do is participate for the event and receive their feedback later. Alright, the last user will be our evaluators. Again, they're just going to be employees participating in the event, and they'll be assigned to different groups. They'll also have a similar question form that they'll fill out during or after the event, and that'll correspond to each candidate from their group.
There were a few ways we could have approached this when coming up with how the software system would be built and structured, and we covered on having a REST web application. REST being a stateless method of data transfer used in many different areas utilizing HTTP. The reason for this choice was that this paradigm will allow our front end, which is what the user sees, function separately from our back end, which is where the data heavy business logic lives. We also envision this as being a great way to separate responsibilities and allow us to be future ready. We started off with a web application because web applications can run on any device with a web browser. If in the future we were to expand upon our system and add native mobile applications to the system, we can easily do that without major changes to the backend. As for technologies used to put the system together, we use the React Web Framework for front-end application development due to its ease of use and the team's familiarity with the framework. Additionally, we use Material UI design on top of the framework to provide the user an interface with which they're already familiar with. It also allowed us to focus more on system architecture and features rather than UI design. Django and the Django REST framework was used for our backend services, which includes everything from retrieving information from the database to sending notifications and performing resume ranking. It was used because we found that it offered the perfect balance of customizability and features for our project. It also allowed us to easily tackle tricky obstacles like secure authentication. Twilio's API was used to quickly deliver text notifications to candidates. MySQL was used for database management. Its relational model was perfect for our project, and it's also one of the most widely used databases in the industry today. And scikit-learn for resume ranking. In order to achieve effective resume ranking, we use the term frequencies to determine who would be the right fit for the job. With the help of sklearn, we first extract term frequencies from the inputted job description, as well as resumes, while also ignoring words like and, I, is, that. Words like that are way too common in the English language to be helpful in making our determination. After calculating term frequencies, we vectorize all the quantities and make our ranking determination based on how close the job description vector is to each resume. The closeness between the resumes and job description is quantified using the Euclidean distance metric.
With the jobs that we've created before, we're now able to select rankings according to the job titles that we want. So if we want to rank financial analysts, we can open up the resume. And now if we want a compliance analyst, we can see the rank shuffle again, and so on and so forth for all the different types of jobs.
All in all, while we're proud of what we've created thus far, there's a lot still left. Our team had a few stretch goals that we couldn't fit into our constraints this semester. In the future, we would love to expand and research more into the resume ranking model. Although term frequency closeness work better than expected, there are some flaws. It would also be interesting to consider surveys and questionnaires when ranking, making it a more comprehensive ranking. There are also many alternative approaches to resume ranking that we never got a chance to explore, such as deep learning. This wasn't really an option for us presently due to lack of time and big enough dataset.